Welcome to the Penny Pinchers Podcast. It is April 25th. We've got a 5-game slate to you. You're here with Dagger and the Jimmy J. How you guys doing today? We're going to take you through all the hot plays, the hot pitchers, who we want to stack against. Dagger, I know, is looking good. He's going to pick me out of the rut I'm in. Dagger, how you doing today?
Very good. Very good day here up in Massachusetts. Sun is shining. Ready to get some DFS out to the world. Pretty good slate last night. Kind of came out in the middle of the pack, but tonight a short slate, 5 games. Going to try to stack up some big names against scrubby pitchers and let them rip.
I like it. I don't know about scrubby pitchers tonight, but I'm about it.
There's a few. Gonna have to tonight. 5 games. You're gonna have to get the low guys.
Going the exact opposite direction. I've also been just horrible at picking low end pitchers, so I think I just gotta pick some high end dudes to build my confidence.
It's okay. It's a new day, Jimmy. That's the good thing about fantasy. Every day is a new day.
So we're gonna jump right on in. I got 4 pitchers I got written down. I also want to ask you what you think about a 5th one. Curious of what you think. So I'm gonna start right at the top, man. The 4 guys I've written down are all facing each other. So, I mean, I love Garrett Cole against a still pretty weak Cleveland lineup, even with Lindor back and Ramirez starting to heat up. Love Trevor Bauer today. Just eats up righties. As good as Houston is, that righty lineup's a lot of right-handed hitters. He can force a lot of strikeouts. Even though he's in Houston, I'm not too worried about it. Aaron Nola finally showed signs of last year's Aaron Nola, and it still wasn't great. But he gave up 3 earned runs, but he had 9 Ks. But he's also in Colorado. And also, really like Caleb Smith tonight. I feel like Caleb Smith's going to be that guy that is going to be at least 50% owned for his price. I mean, Vargas is the worst pitcher in the MLB, I'm convinced. And apparently the Phillies just can't hit lefties. So if you want to take a shot on Caleb Smith, I'm all about it, even though he is away in Philadelphia. And the one guy I wanted to ask you about is, what do you think of the Taylor Hearn from Texas against Seattle?
I don't know much about Hearn. I've been trying to look up, and there's not a lot of stats behind him, but minus his 405 and a few starts down in AAA. 4 starts, 20 innings, 405 ERA. So he's in a spot here on this slate, which makes it tough because of his price of 7,200. We're not really getting too low of price pitchers tonight because there's not a lot of them. So that's kind of handcuffing us as DFS players. I'm going to full fade him. I have literally no interest in him. Seattle is still on that home run streak, I think. And now they're going to a home game against Hearn. I don't know. When Seattle starts striking out a lot more, I might start jumping some pitchers against them. But until then, I don't want to take a shot on a kid that's making his season debut in Seattle. Left-hander. So you got the big power bats. You got Encarnacion. You got Healy, who's got some pop. You got Santana. Even Mitch Haniger's leading the league in extra base hits, I think. So they got a lot of right-handed bangers over there, and this kid's probably going to have a tough night.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think about the other high-end guys? You looking to take a Cole or a Bowers tonight?
Yeah, I think you have to take one of them. It's probably going to be Bauer for me, but yet again, Garrett Cole against Cleveland is no slouch either. The thing for Cole is he got blown up against Texas, and that's kind of why his ERA's bloomed up to a 5.22. Gave up 8 runs, but the thing with Cole also is that he's going to strike out a lot of guys. So if he can get his command and doesn't walk anyone, he's pushing a double-digit strikeout performance. Personally, I might pay down the extra 400 and take a shot at Bauer. Houston's kind of a difficult park to pitch in with the short left porch and an easy flying right field. But I think Bauer can survive there. Another name that's interesting tonight is Tanaka. I think Tanaka might smash the the Angels. Angels haven't really been great. Trout's not cooking. Simmons hit a couple homers last night, but that's off Sabathia, who's topping out at 89, so that wasn't super impressive for me. But Tanaka's might be a guy that I might chalk over a Bauer and a Cole, depending on how the rest of my hitters go. And lastly, Marco Gonzalez is having a pretty solid season. 3.32 ERA, 4-0. He's got Texas tonight, but he's at home, and he's usually pretty solid at home as well. Most of the Texas guys hit him at a decent clip. I'm not exactly sure the exact team number, but I know there's a few guys that are hitting him at a 400, 300 clip, but they're all singles, so he's not giving up doubles, long balls. He's keeping the ball in the yard. If he can work around a few 5, 6, 7 hits and strike out a few guys, he could come away with, a 15, 18, 20-point performance against a Texas lineup that's been pretty good this season. And lastly, I obviously Nola, this is going to be a huge bounce back spot for him. But for 9,100, I'd rather take a guy like Tanaka for 200 more salary and turn it and flip down to like either a Gonzalez or just double stack a Cole Bauer with Tanaka. I just don't think Nola's worth the price. Granted, he's had some tough games. He's got Washington, the Mets, Colorado, and Atlanta. So those are, 5 of the tougher teams in the West. Tonight he's got a cake matchup with Miami, and I don't even care. I'm just going to fade it until he proves to me that he's going to be back to his form from last year.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, your Caleb Smith was great. He's got to go to Philly
Yeah, I
tonight.
know.
He's been great. 20 against the Mets, 17 against Atlanta, 27 against Philly, 28 against Washington. He's
And
been lights out.
I do
But
trust him a little bit more.
I just think pitching in Philly this year is going to be so tough.
I mean, he did pitch really good against Philly last time. Just it was at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be super high owned tonight, though,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think so too.
I might just fade just on the pure fact that if I can get maybe a 20-20 out of 2 other pitchers off the top, I'll spend a little bit more money, but I'll get the ownership on the higher
Yeah.
end guys.
Well,
But yeah, pitchers are pretty straightforward
it
tonight.
is.
Looks like you got a handful of 4 or 5 guys that we're just going to straight lock. No interest in Porcello, Cahill, or Zimmerman. I think those are great stack against this Boston Detroit game. Has a on paper potential of being like a 10-10 game, depending on how the teams hit. I don't think Porcello is going to do well tonight. He's been bad all season, and I don't think Zimmerman. I think the Red Sox are going to get to Zimmerman. So,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a slugfest.
and every time I pick against the Yankees, some random goes yard, and Trevor Cahill is he's not it tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's slide over to catcher. How about that? How does that sound?
That is fantastic, Jimmy.
Awesome. Starting towards the top. I'm gonna guess he's gonna play just because they're facing a lefty on the mound. Tom Murphy, man, is playing great. He's getting limited at bats because he's fine behind Narvaez. But maybe they'll skip him over for the lefty, go with the righty-lefty. Christian Vasquez, I don't know what's up with Christian Vasquez. He's like 222. I feel like is pretty good for Christian Vasquez. He just seems to keep getting a couple base hits, an RBI there, an RBI here. Like, do we keep feeding him? Like, he's up to 3,600, which I feel like is insane for Christian Vasquez. Another guy, Robinson Chirinos, he is facing Bauer. However, he's 3 for 7 with 2 home runs against him. Small slate. Sometimes you got to pick that, kind of that ballsy pick to break the slate. Don't think a lot of people will own Chirinos. If he can hit a home run, you're looking great in the catcher position. It's like bonus points if your catcher's going to put up 10 plus. I did have one more. I did write Gary Sanchez. He does have a home run against Cahill. He's back from the whatever. I forget what he was hurt with, but he's back. Played yesterday. Went 0 for 4. Maybe he bounces back
Golden
today.
sombrero.
What's that?
He had the golden sombrero.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. He had 4Ks. What are you looking at for catcher?
Everything you mentioned is great. I don't like anyone on this slate. This catcher's position is super tough. I have no interest in Chirinos. I think the numbers are inflated by pure luck. I think tonight we're seeing an over 4 with 3 Ks. So I'm gonna go right on the whim and say that. The Vasquez plays great. He's 1 for 1 with a double against Zimmerman. The only thing I don't like is he hits 9th, which is always tough for the catcher because most catchers hit late and deep in the order. A guy that I really like tonight, and I'm going to keep going back to this guy, is Kevin Smith from the Angels. I don't know what's going on. I think he's like DHing some nights, catching some nights. He's hitting 270. He's only got 1 homer, but he's always falling between that 5 and 10 points bracket. 19, 11, 8, 10, 11. So I don't know. Tanaka, obviously, I said is tough, but for 2,900, I wouldn't mind throwing either Lucroy or Kevin Smith in there and kind of closing my eyes to the whole position in general. Even under that, I don't see anyone. The rest of the catchers under 2,900 seems to be the cheapest. It's a super tough position, and the only other guy that is of any interest is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's 2 of 10 in his career against Marco Gonzalez with 2 doubles. So I'm not in love with it, but it's a name.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through here. Do we take a shot on a guy like Romine if they like maybe give Sanchez a day off?
I looked, didn't love it. Always a possibility to get you a couple hits. Not going to leave the yard, not going to drive in runs. He's just a very tough play.
It doesn't help. They're like the 9 o'clock game.
Somebody that does interest me, though, is Jorge Alfaro's return to Philly against Nola. He's been hitting in the middle of Miami's lineup, and if he takes a shot at the 4-hitter tonight, I might take a shot on him. Nola hasn't been great.
I'm cool with that, yeah.
Alfaro's going back to Philly. I kind of like it. 3,200 is a super fair price for a catcher on this slate because this slate is very, very tough.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If you didn't mention Realmuto, we probably should before we step off of this position, just because he is 4,800, but he's in one of those spots that he's hitting like top 5 in a really, really good lineup. So Realmuto, if you're going to spend up at a position, it's probably another position, but he's definitely the stud catcher of the night.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Like he was in a 2-hole the other day. I like him a little bit more when he is batting 5 because he's behind all those guys. But with Segura out, they bumped him up.
Yep, still a really good ball player.
Absolutely. You want to slide over to first base?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm not crazy about first base. I literally have like 3 dudes written down today. Starting with, I have Edwin Encarnacion down for 4,500. He's facing some rookie lefty. You know, Edwin just kills lefties. So I'd like to think that he'll be in the starting lineup, at least DHing, if not playing first base. Luke Voigt has gone out to LA and has just been crushing the ball. Got to slow down a little bit yesterday.
1 for 2 with a homer for Voigt.
Yep, I did have that marked down. And the one other guy, I mean, I guess there's 2 other guys I can do. If you want to take like a Nico Goodrum, like I really don't like people on that Detroit Tigers lineup, but Goodrum's the only person that kind of offers me double-digit potential, home run potential. And I'm willing to take a shot on Mitch Moreland. He is, what is he? He's 5 for 9 with 2 doubles and a home run against Zimmerman. You know, I know you took him yesterday and it kind of sucked, but you know, gave you 6 points. But I'm willing to take a shot on Mitch. Hopefully, he just starts putting that bat on the ball, finding the gaps. That's really it for first base today. I'm not crazy on a lot of picks. I guess if you wanted to go Mickey Cabrera for 3,800 to save some money, hope he hits a couple doubles off the wall. Anything else you like first base?
Luke Voigt is probably going to be the chalk of the night just because his pure streak that he's on and as high as he's going to get all year. 4,400 is a fair price on this slate. Ryan Healy is going to be my guy, I think, tonight. If they can move him into the top 6, I know they like to play Navarez in the 6-hole, but if he can make it in the top 6 tonight against this rookie Hearn up in Seattle, he's only hitting 216, but he's got the pop and he hits lefties at a pretty good clip. So he's a guy I kind of like tonight. And other than all the guys you mentioned, obviously you got Hoskins off the top. Had that interesting little turn of events last night with the Mets where he went bridge and took about 45 seconds to take a walk around the bases. So he's going back home to Philly. He's starting to heat up a little bit. 5,300 is pretty steep, but it's fair for what's going on in that situation. Lefty against righty. Edwin's great play tonight. And Mitch Moreland is 5 for 9, like you said. I don't want to go back to the well, but 4,200 is super fair on this slate. So maybe tonight is the night we see Mitch Moreland kind of turn on the Jets again as far as hitting the ball in gaps and out of the yard.
Anything else you have for us?
One more guy that just came across. As I was finishing up here is Steve Pearce is 4 for 12, 2 doubles, 2 homers against Zimmerman. So if the Red Sox seem to put him in, it's usually a top 3 in the order. Granted, it's righty-righty, but Pierce has been cold and he's due to have one of those big games. So maybe Zimmerman's the guy he gets it against. 2 homers, 2 doubles, pretty solid stats.
Word. All right, now let's get over
3,300.
to second base then. Second base is another spot I'm really not crazy about. They do have Altuve moved down a little bit at 4,600. He is 6 for 18 against Bowers, but 5 of those hits are singles. But still, I mean, we're going to be looking to get any points we can today if you're trying to pay up. I really like this kid from Texas, Danny Santana. He's a switch hitter, can steal bags, do it all. He's only 4,100. I'm all about taking a shot on Danny Santana. You never know what he's going to give you, but a couple RBIs, a couple base hits here, hopefully a stolen base. You never know. I got Torres written down just because these middle infield spots aren't actually shortstop's not bad, but second base and shortstop. He's only 4,000. He's been striking out a lot, but I'm just waiting for him to just pop another one out like he is due beyond belief. And I had one other guy written down. Oh, yeah, if you're trying to save money. I went right by him. If Chavis is in the lineup, might as well take a shot on Chavis. I mean, he's showing that he can handle playing in the bigs. Like, he's playing really good ball. He even stole a base the other day. Like, I think he's going to just put dents in that wall, honestly. He's going to keep swinging over to the left side. That's all I had for second base. I just had those 4 names. And even like I said, even Torres I'm not that crazy about. I just know that he's due, and maybe he can do it against Cahill. What do you like at second base?
Yeah, if you pass it to me, I like Altuve against Bauer. That just seems to be one of those spots that this game gets late and it's going to be close and the adrenaline's going to be pumping. I don't think Altuve gets Bauer, but I think he can get somebody out of that Cleveland pen and really turn up some fancy points here. Danny Santana, I mean, he's been around for a while now. He played in, excuse me, I think it was Minnesota for a few years. Then he made a trade, and he's just one of those weird guys that's either 20 or 0. So I don't think tonight I'm going to take a shot. Cesar Hernandez always in play at 4,000 Phillies lineup. But for me, I got to keep going back to the well on Chavis. He was 0 for 0 last night, I think it was, with 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Tonight he got a taste of going 440 at Fenway. I think tonight he's just going to turn Zimmerman around. I think this is going to be a huge game for Chavis, and if he can get hot here, you're going to see him to start crawling up to the top of this Red Sox lineup. I'm not going to say top 4. But a guy like Chavis getting hot, hitting 5th in a Red Sox lineup that features Benny and Betts and Martinez at the top and Chavis behind him. And in the middle summer, if Fenway that ball is going to carry, I think he can be a really, really strong fantasy
I don't think
asset.
they'd bump him above Xander, though.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, Xander could fall back into that 4 spot depending on what day we're playing. I don't think we're going to see the first baseman continue to hit in the 3-4 slot all
exactly.
season.
I hate it, honestly.
And lastly, but not least, I can't not mention Josh Harrison. He's having a terrible start, but he's having a decent Fenway stint. I mean, he's 4 for his last 8 with a couple doubles. Super fair, 3,400 price. I don't think he's got big time power anymore, but Rick Porcello in Fenway, I don't know. I think it's a fair shot.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you want to, I mean, if you're trying to spend low on someone, I mean, you're gonna have to buy the low somewhere. I think I'm gonna buy low in outfield. I'm buying really low in outfield actually today, but
I found your sleeper of the day for second base, and I totally skipped this and I missed it, and so did you. But DJ LeMahieu against Trevor Cahill for 3,300, hitting atop the Yankees lineup. He's basically the only starter they have left besides Gardner. Got Trevor Cahill tonight. Had 16 last night. 3,300. Super fair.
Not bad at all.
That's it. Let's get on to third.
Sir. Third base. You tell me where to go. I like it. Heck yeah. Starting Roar. I really don't like Bregman. I don't like Franco. I'm willing to take a shot on Jose Ramirez today. I think he's going to be a guy. People are going to be scared to take him against Cole. If I can get just a home run, a stolen base, or something out of Ramirez, and he gives me my value, I think that's a huge steal at 4,200. I feel like we're going to have to take a shot on some stud versus another stud today, and I think Jose Ramirez is my guy. Really like Asdrubal Cabrera. He's a really solid player. He's only 4,000. He's cooled off a little bit from what he was doing earlier, but the other guy I really like, I did not realize that he just destroys Rick Porcello, is Gordon Beckham. Can play third or short for 3,900. 15 for 22 in his career. It's 6 doubles and a home run. I mean, the way this year's been going, though, it feels like everyone that's like batting 500 against a dude, it just decides to go 0 for 4 this year. It's unreal. It's been that kind of year. And the only other guy I really like from Detroit, other than Goodrum, would be Candelario. Usually bats at the top of that lineup. He hasn't been great. I'd probably rather Goodrum over someone, but for 3,600, if you're trying to save somewhere, I'm cool with taking Candelario if you want to take a shot, top of the order. That's really all I have for third base. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so you have LeMahieu, you have Chavis, and Healy are the three names that we've already mentioned, but they can also play third, which is a nice double up asset. Bregman against Bauer don't like. Franco against Smith, he just doesn't hit high enough in the lineup for him to produce. No interest in Jose Ramirez. I can see an 0 for 4. He's hitting like a $150, $180 to be exact. Don't care. Don't want anything to do with him. Gordon Beckham, no chance he's going to see my lineup. Gordon Beckham's washed. He's old. He's done. His numbers were juiced from his White Sox days. Plays I do like, Rafael Devers, 3,800, has not gone bridge this year. Got a guy in Zimmerman and a nice sort of spring summery day here in Massachusetts. Maybe Devers jumps into one tonight. And one other name that I saw was Brian Anderson, 5 for 14 against Aaron Nola. All 5 are singles, but hits in the top of Miami's lineup. Ball usually flies pretty good down in Philly. So possibly Brian Anderson at a fair 3,400 price could be in play here tonight.
Okay, I definitely you're all about Chavis. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not taking Chavis today, so you can take him so he can bang.
Well, I'm glad. One more thing before we go. Zach Cozart's hitting 109, which is absolutely horrendous. But for some reason, if he makes a lineup tonight, he's a whopping 2,300 salary with a 3 for 7 with a home run against Tanaka. I just don't want that to go unmentioned. So when he goes, 2 for 4 with a homer at 2,300, everybody knows I was on it.
Oh, I can respect that. I was about to say
That's all I
something.
got.
Yeah, moving on to shortstop. That's why I was that kind of day already. Moving on to shortstop. We're at the top. Really like Xander. Xander's starting to turn it on. He's 4,600. I think he could have a really good game. He had that one huge game where he had 2 home runs. But other than that, he's going to come alive. If this entire lineup comes alive, he's got 4 dudes in front of him that can get on base. I'm not crazy about Lindor yet. I want him to get some more at bats before I start buying into him. Really don't like Correa today against Bauer. Tim Beckham, if you want to take a shot against Hearn, I'm cool with it. He really has cooled off. He was cooking at the start of the year. He's really come back down to earth. Already talked about Glaber. Already talked about Gordon. Oh, the only guy I have, he had a great game yesterday, but Simmons, if Simmons is starting to wake up and find that power, I'm cool with taking a shot against him against Tanaka. He's only 3,300. A little bit of a salary relief there if you want to build somewhere else. Anything else you like, Dagger?
Yeah, Simmons is 4 for 12 with a double and a homer. 3,300. Spend down spot because the rest of the shortstops are pretty mediocre. I think there's only 2 guys I would take in this spot, and it's probably Simmons and Bogarts. And Bogarts is a very, very high risk. Granted, he's a good ball player and a good lineup, but for some reason he likes to drop zeros. No interest in Correa, no interest in Lindor, not yet, not in this matchup. Ronnie Rodriguez is super interesting. Went 3 for 4, 2 doubles and a homer. Has a terrible swing, all front foot based, but for some reason he knows how to find the monster. So, I mean, for 4,300, that's extremely steep. But there's going to be that one chance that he could go yard tonight, and no ownership for him because he's not actually a superior ball player. Tim Beckham's probably going to be super high owned tonight against Hearn. Like you said, he was hot, and now he's not. So is he worth his price? Absolutely. Will he return the value? I don't think so.
That's pretty fair. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that.
But that's it. Shortstop's tough. I think I got a handful of options that I will lock in depending on where I go in other positions. And there's a lot more guys that I'm just going to completely fade tonight as far as, Lindor and Correa.
Oh, I'm so mad. I just realized that Danny Santana does not have outfield eligibility today. That actually makes me really, really mad.
Well, he has been filling in for Odor, so he hasn't moved at all. But normally when Odor's back, he'll
What?
be a utility
It's
player
weird how
again. He'll be moving outfield.
DraftKings does that, man. They will literally switch them on a day-to-day basis depending on who's like where.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Kind of
a little odd.
unfortunate, but that's okay. Moving on to outfield then.
I'm already here.
Okay. Always, if you can fit them, I don't blame you. Teams are like just being super careful with them. But Mike Trout, man, 5,700. Really like a Mitch Haniger today. I feel like he'll be super low owned too. I like to think, people look at, oh, it's only an extra $100 for Trout. I can find that $100, and I'd rather have Trout than Mitch Haniger. Really like Domingo Santana. I like JD. I like Mookie. If you want to save some money, Sin-Soo Choo for 4,000. Just dude's like 57 years old, but is still batting 300, batting leadoff. Don't quite get it, but dude just keeps making it happen. I don't mind taking a shot in like a Brian Goodwin. He's batting 344. It's a little bit tougher with Trout back in the outfield lineup, but 3,900, I'm cool with it. I had Delino DeShields written down here. He hasn't had very good success against Gonzalez though. If you want to take a shot on like Hunter Pence for 3,400, I get it. And I'm willing to almost just for the salary relief, if he can give me anything, like literally anything, I'm cool with taking a shot on JBJ for 3,100. It sounds like probably the dumbest play in the world, but as long as if I can get like 10 points out of him, I will be thrilled. He got it last night. He had 2 RBIs and he had 2 singles. Dagger, what do you like about outfield?
Yeah, you missed a lot of plays that I thought normally you would be on, so you're a little off track today as far as what you normally shoot for. Starting at the top, Joey Gallo, you can't go wrong. 4 for 10 with 2 homers against Gonzalez. It is lefty. I don't love it. I don't think today is the spot for Gallo, but the numbers are there. A couple guys you missed were McCutchen, who crushes Smith in 7 plate appearances. He has 3 hits with 2 doubles and a homer. So at home in Philly, I think that might be a spot where you could take a good shot on Kutch at 4,600. One name that you did miss that I thought was interesting is Josh Reddick. You're usually on the sleeper guys. Reddick at 3,800 has 2 homers against Bauer, so that's kind of interesting. Nicholas Castellanos, I have no problem taking a shot on today. Has not gone yard this year. His swing looks good. He's got Porcello, like I said, who likes to give up the long ball. This could be a spot where Castellanos maybe doubles twice, homers once if he really gets cranking. And a guy I'm super high on today is Michael Brantley against his former team and Trevor Bauer. I can see this kind of being an ego thing. Brantley was in Cleveland for quite a few years, and Bauer wants to get him out. Bauer's a competitive guy, and Brantley wants to take him deep. So either Brantley's going to give you a 3-hit game because he's just such a good ball player. Maybe he even turns one around tonight. He went yard last night. He's hitting 315 in the center of a Houston lineup that's just going to be fantastic all summer long. So those are a few guys that I really like. Brett Gardner was terrible last night, but as we're going to continue to tell you until the Yankees get healthy, that there's actually no one else there that is a big league ball player besides LeMahieu. And I guess you could call Voit. I mean, Voit's just a pure hitter. He's not much of a defender, but Brian Goodwin is just tough because he doesn't really do anything besides hit singles, but he just hits a lot of them. I know the home run is there. He's got a few homers and a few doubles, but he seems like a bunch of points in one game or not a lot of points in a game.
Yeah.
So a guy that you really like is Mike Tauchman, and he's actually terrible at baseball. But today could be the day after striking out 3 times last night that he turns it around. I know you're super high on him. Can you tell us some more?
An outfield? Who are you talking about? Oh, yeah, no,
Stockton.
he's dead to me. He went 0 for 6 in like a 14-inning game. Like, never again.
All right. Hey, just found that Steve Pierce has outfield eligibility is 3,300, and he hits what's his face Zimmerman. Hits Zimmerman pretty well, and
I
he's
just
hitting a
don't
buck
see him in the
25.
lineup today, though.
So maybe, yeah. Well, Core's one of those guys that goes
This is an
outside the box,
understatement.
Jimmy.
All right, let's do the rundown.
How about some Jake Bowers? I like Jake Bowers too. If anybody's gonna get cold, it's gonna be some no-name guy like Roberto
Yeah.
Perez or Jake Bowers.
Yeah,
That's all I got,
let's
Jimmy.
run her down.
5 game slate, nice and easy. All right, give me your pitcher that's gonna
All
20
right,
plus.
it's almost like cheating, but I'm going Bauer. I think he's gonna. I mean, it's a very tough lineup, but I think he is gonna just. He's one of those guys that shows up for the big games. He knows he's playing one of the best offenses. He's gonna come out and just try to bang.
I hate how you took the high road, but I'm gonna take it with you. Masahiro Tanaka, 20 plus. That's a
Okay.
lock for me tonight. The Angels are not hitting the ball well. I like it a lot. And Tanaka's got like a 2.7. He's got that splitter working again. He didn't need Tommy John, 2-1. He's kind of cranking. Give me your pitcher you want to stack against. Who are you going to add a 2 or 3 guys from one lineup against?
I'm really happy their bats are starting to line up. They have really reasonably priced guys. They're in Fenway, but I feel like you got to team up on Zimmerman. This means it's not
Yeah,
going to get shut out
that's
today,
kind of where I was
but
going. I was hoping you were going to go elsewhere. Yep, that's kind of where I'm going to. Well, since you took him, give me it's just tough because there's a lot of good guys on the slate. How about Caleb Smith? I think I'm gonna have a couple Phillies in my lineup
really,
tonight.
I think he's going to have a good game. Not a great game, but a good game.
I just think this is a spot where if I can get a few tens out of guys, they're gonna have no ownership because everybody wants to load up on
Yep.
Smith. All right, I need a guy that's gonna have 2 hits, 2-hit night for anybody on this slate.
2 hits. Give me Mookie for only 4,700.
Yeah,
Mookie's coming
Betts
back
is
to
a
life
fair
tonight.
price today. He's super cheap. He hasn't really been doing much. Alrighty, I'm going back to the well. Give me Michael Brantley against Trevor Bauer. I know I picked him the other day in the last pod, but 4,200 just seems so cheap. I know he's facing Bauer, but I mean Brantley's a machine, man. He's super disciplined, doesn't strike out, doesn't walk. He just puts the ball in play, and he usually gets a lot of hits.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy, home run lock of the night.
Man, straight taking a shot. Like I'm all in on it. Jose Ramirez is taking Garrett Cole deep. I'm telling you, Jose Ramirez is the guy today. And
Yeah,
no
you like
one's
that
gonna
a lot.
own
I
him.
don't like Ramirez at all. I just don't. All right, I'm gonna go for the day that Rafael Devers gets off the schneid. Give me a Devers
Really,
gone.
that is a gutsy call. I really like that.
I can just see him dropping one right in the bullpen. I mean, I'm talking right off the bullpen catcher. Nice little poke at Fenway. But that's all for us, Jimmy. Plug us out of here.
Hey, check us out on Twitter at Budget Baller DFS. We're gonna keep getting stuff going. Still trying to just get the right groove going. I'm in a cold streak. Dagger's cashing. Tonight's the night, man. I'm going against the grain and trying to like get out of like my groove that I was going every night. It's clearly not working. My biggest thing's picking pitchers. So today I'm probably spending up just to feel like I have safe plays. I'm just missing the cheap plays. It's been really tough. So today's the day, man. I'm getting back on the grind. Dagger, what you got?
That's it for me. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. Keep us close on Twitter because we're gonna be pumping out some content. And get ready for a great night of DFS. 5 game slate, small slate, a lot of points to be scored. For Jimmy J, this is